Okay, Vryn Thorn, Superdust, saying, speed of leveling or the ceiling isn't the problem. The problem is bad early game design and a lack of interesting content. That's an interesting thing. Yeah, you know, the first impressions, the new player experience are extremely important to the health of World of Warcraft. I think it's something that's just, because WoW, you know, we're all so focused on our raiding and our endgame stuff, not enough time goes there. I think Exile's Reach was a really good start. There's certainly the odd issue, you know, right now. It's better than it used to be. I mean, man, I remember, say, Legion patch 7.2, right? Before the 7.3.5 changes to everything came in, where you know, you're leveling, you go to a zone, you do a few quests, you've out leveled the zone, you gotta go to the next one. It was a fragmented, awful experience. So I think the new one is way better. I have not leveled up new tunes through the old content much in a long time. I mean, I haven't really done it since I was trying to do all the different speed runs during beta. You know, during Shadowlands beta, when you know, we were like, oh shit, we do our run, they were like, oh man, look, Mephisto's got it in 5 hours 20. Oh shit, it was so much fun. So I'm not really sure what to say, because I kind of enjoy the leveling process in WoW. I enjoyed it back then, like all these PTR characters I was speed leveling, and then, you know, I knew they were sort of discardable characters. There's probably something to be said for doing a bit more. I think, because of the setup of World of Warcraft for a new player, they go through Exile's Reach, and then suddenly it's BFA. They're thrown at the deep end. They don't really understand what's going on. I mean, there's no way a new player can go straight into the intro of BFA and, like, just be like, oh, cool, Culturas, yeah, I'm here. Who's Jaina? What? So WoW sort of suffers from, you know, it was not a game with an MSQ. Right? It never was. Like, okay, you look at Warlords of Draenor, that has an MSQ. You look at Shadowlands, it has an MSQ, absolutely, right? This through line of the content you've really got to do. But most of the game isn't like that. Most of the content isn't like that, right? It's just sort of like, oh, do a thing. Which, you know, I like, because I just like sort of exploring the world and sort of, you know, getting things. But I wonder if that's not working for people. I don't know. I feel like that's a bit of the game that, like, it could do better, but it's generally working.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about new player stuff, because that's just kind of awkward in a couple of ways. How you can really feel the problems if you try to do older content, but if you're doing BFA, it's BFA. But I think the problem is kind of how to put this. It's a little bit confusing. There's no, like, real way to know what you're supposed to do or what you are doing, because the Heroes Call board sends you to an area, and then that's a little bit disjointed because you have so many things to pick and Chromie time's working. It feels like it's kind of soup. Maybe that's because I kind of understand. I'm trying to, like, because I understand all the different parts, I'm like, what the hell's going on?
I suppose a totally new player runs up against Chromie time and gets very confused about what that is.
Yeah, new players don't have to do the Chromie time because they just railroaded through BFA.
It's their second character.
But it's more the fact that I feel like there should maybe be, and I hate thinking this, have another system on top of it. Not a system, but have a through line, have a reward thing that works. Because I would, I actually don't mind leveling. I have a ton of characters at like 20 and 30.
You do,
on different servers. I have an absolute ton of them, and I kind of enjoy a little bit of that early stuff. I do, especially with Chromie time, doing like Southern Barons again is Horde's really fun.
Good shit.
Doing Stone Talon is Horde's really fun. Where else is it? Silver Pine's fun. There's a lot of like little Horde zones that I haven't done in a long time or didn't do in Cata. Feel really good to do, but it's it's something about there's like a couple things that kind of come up against the wall. One is the price of flying. The price of max flying at 30 is completely insane.
Max flying?
Yeah, you know, the expert flying or master riding. The flying cost.
The 4K?
Yeah. That's way more than you get now when you get level, when you're going to level 30. It's way, way more, so that really annoys me because it's not optimal. I mean, sure, just buy a WoW token for that server, but whatever. And the other thing is hitting 50 and then going, ugh, I don't want to do Shadowlands anymore. I don't want to do Shadowlands content. That's kind of one of the major problems, where there's no point to leveling a character unless you're going to play at a max level because the end game's a game.
Fair, yeah. And then
so I
Threads of Fates, but
yeah, Threads of Fate is not very good. The campaign's not very good either because it's the same story you've already done. But it's fundamentally it's the idea of we need some account-wide progression from other characters. That's what I feel is really missing. That's what doesn't tickle my brain in World of Warcraft the same way FF does, where I have damn near every job at like 50 now because I've just been like, well, you know, I'm too tired to do any hard content. I've been in Baja too much today. I'll go do a couple of lower level dungeons on like Scholar or Ast or like Dark Knight. And that's kind of nice. It's relaxing. And I know I'm happy to do it because I know this is account-wide progress. But I don't feel the same whenever the only end game I'm doing is on my Paladin. And then I'm like, if I'm going to go level a Horde on another server, it's like, it doesn't feel good because there's no progress, there's no gain. And that could literally just be a number that's ticking up that makes me happy. That's all it needs to be. But it could be so much more there. But I don't feel like there's anything for that.
Yep, I think account-wide progress is a big thing, especially for the existing players. I certainly am in that situation where, I'm finishing ARR MSQ on Rogue, but before I go through them, I'm going to be like, okay, well, there's more XP from this, from the main scenario quest, then I'm going to need to level one job.
Yep.
Okay, I need a repertoire of jobs that I'm going to swap between. So that I can learn all of those things and also make use of all this great MSQ stuff. And it feels like quest stacking. Yeah. It's like quest stacking my progress in the game. And I think the more you can do that, there's just something in our like RPG gamer brains where we're like, oh my God, I gotta stack my progress. So I'm what is it? Feeding 2 birds with 1 scone.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Or, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Right, where it's satisfying. It's satisfying. So yeah, interesting stuff. I feel like some form of good account-wide progress is actually the solution to so many problems. Perhaps even a lot for the casual players, a lot for the mid-range players, and also a lot for the end-game players too.
Yeah.
I mean, man, imagine if they could have account-wide progression in a few things, they'd be very happy.
Like this is going to sound insane, but if I could get anima when I was just leveling. I mean, this doesn't make sense because of how the game's organized, but currency speaking, if I could get anima from leveling another character, funnel that to my main, and then unlock the higher levels, as buggy as they are, unlock the higher levels of Path of Ascension.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. I have a reason to go do all this other stuff, but I don't have a reason to play the game. And, the only thing I can do in the game that actually satisfies me progress-wise is do Mythic Plus. That's basically it. And I don't want to do that all the time. I don't want to do that anytime, to be honest with you, recently. Yeah. It's just, I'd rather just have, can I do any activity and get some progress? That WoW doesn't scratch the itch that way.
Yep, so basically, justice points to allow for just more things to be more rewarding, and account-wide progression. That is basically a solution to a lot of problems.
Yep.